More than 50 members of Congress in the last 18 months have been caught violating the Stock Act, with 3 violators caught in just the last week. For years, we've seen members of Congress violate the law, but not a single one of them has suffered any consequences. Again, I start this by, if you and I went out and did what these congressmen and congress ladies did, we would be in prison because we would be engaging in insider trading. We've gone to a meeting. At the meeting, we learned that Boeing is going to sell a bunch of more weapons overseas. So what do? We go and we invest into Boeing, right? They do this kind of thing every day in the health care system, in the energy sector, in the weapons industry, in the pharmaceutical industry. These little cretins go to meetings where they're on committees, right? And they take that information and they call their broker, hey, you know what I just found out? Boom, they buy the stock.
Exactly, and it's, the worst with the budget. When they're sitting there working on the upcoming budget for the next year and they know, okay, listen, we're increasing the Pentagon's budget by $100 billion next year. We've got all this global turmoil, weapons. I want all my stocks, everything moved over to this area here. We're about to give them tons of money. I'm going to make a fortune off this. And unfortunately, folks, I don't know if you have a favorite lawmaker, but I can promise you they're most likely on these lists. It is not a Republican thing or a Democrat thing. It's not a left versus right. No. This is bipartisanship in violating the Stock Act, which is a federal law. Let's be clear, it's a federal law.
There's no way to defend this.
Right.
But people are going to defend it because they're a Democrat or, they're a Republican. So what they did, they broke the law, but that's okay. That's how crazy our thinking is now.
Yeah.
In any other world, these people would be they'd be in criminal trials, being perp walked. So you have them where they're supposed to report, for example. Let's at least say, okay, they don't have to do anything else except say, I walked out of that hearing and I went and I sold Boeing short, okay? I did that because of the information I had. Okay, you can do that as long as you say, hey, I just did something that would end up throwing a typical citizen in prison, but I've disclosed it. So you can't do anything to me, right? And they don't even comply with that, do they?
Right. That is about the only part of the law. They're kind of allowed to do this insider trading. I mean, they are allowed to do this insider
encouraged.
Trading. But all you got to do is just tell us that you're doing the insider trading, and they can't even do that. And obviously, that's going to hurt you in a campaign. But again, like you mentioned, 50 lawmakers in the current session of Congress here. And it's people all the way up to Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, my God.
You got Marjorie Taylor Greene. You got Jared Moskowitz. You've got just all these people from both sides of the aisle who are looking at their jobs in Congress, not how can I help these people in my district? How can I help the country? It's how can I put some more zeros at the end of my bank account? And that's what they're doing.
Do you realize there's actually a service that we've actually talked about this case, this study of this situation before. There's an organization that does nothing but figures out what Nancy Pelosi's husband traded that day, or Moskowitz, or whoever it is. What were the trades that were made by Mitch McConnell? What did they sell short? What did they buy? Blah, whatever it is. It's a service that does nothing but that, because a smart person is going to say, hell, Mitch McConnell just sold X number of shares in this company, probably ought to do it too, right?
Yep, and it is. This company just monitors what members of Congress are trading and then goes and tells people on Wall Street, hey, okay, they all just bought Boeing. You guys need to buy Boeing. Something big's about to happen. Or they all just sold Google. Get rid of Google. Something bad's going to happen to them. It's ridiculous, but that's how you follow it.
Have we gotten to the point where that's just okay? I mean, I'm serious. Have we gotten to the point where it's just okay? It's okay because Nancy Pelosi is a Democrat and her husband's a Democrat and I'm a Democrat, therefore we're just going to look the other way. Have we gotten there? I mean that is a serious question.
I think the public themselves have grown numb to it.
Yeah.
But in terms of accountability like this, this legislation to ban stock trades, it's not going to pass because you have to get the people that are doing the trades to vote in favor of the legislation that's going to take money out of their pocket. They're never going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like them voting down giving themselves a raise. They're not going to do that. If they can get more money, by God, they're going to do it.
The last constitutional amendment in the United States was there to raise, so legislators could raise their pay.
Yeah.
That tells you how connected they are to what the American public really cares about.